Thank you, Kapil, for all the work. It is difficult to put into words all my gratitude I have for your work. For a little bit of context, I've grown up in the knowing of what you speak, and luckily been able to be quite removed from the world and its influence. So, growing up, I stayed very deep in my sincere quest, and I've seen a lot of truths ever since I was introduced to your work throughout my own experience. So, thank you. In this moment, when I've had a chance to ask a question from you, I've realized that I actually have nothing to ask. All the problems are just daily fires, which in these moments fade away. And while I pursue my craft, my art, I have a clear vision of when it's done, how it looks like, what the arrival looks like. But the need to have it that way ruins the whole journey. Even though every time I arrive to the perfect result, Um, is the lack of looking into this for myself the reason why it still persists?
What persists?
I guess the need, or I once heard you say that perfection is the state of being perfect, while perfectionism is the need to be perfect. And that's something that I try to understand, or while I pursue my craft. Um,
I don't really understand your question.
mhm. I guess what I want to have is what you have, and while pursuing my sincere quest, um, having the mind or the anxiety or the need to arrive to the vision or whatever the arrival looks like, uh, kind of ruins the whole journey to get there. Or so I guess I want to have it without the need, you know.
And do you think there's something that I can tell you that'll make you get rid of the need?
No, definitely not. I think that's why I said I guess there's really
And
nothing
I- and and
to ask.
and that's right. I mean, what's going on here is that there's a hole, there's a
Yes.
problem, and and you have recognized that there's no prescriptive solution to that problem. But having said that, that doesn't take away the problem. The problem still exists, and therefore you're doing the only thing that you can, which is to express in your own way that the problem exists, not knowing what to do about it, but at the same time knowing that there's no prescription for it. And this is exactly my point. Like everyone makes this point without even realizing they're making it. This is exactly my point. So you have a problem, and you at least have come to the point where you recognize that it seems that there's no prescriptive answer to it. There's no prescriptive solution to it. But having said that, that's fine, but that doesn't take away your problem. And that's exactly why it requires a systematic journey. And a systematic journey is not 5 steps, right?
Hmm.
Like I can't even predict what happens in systematic journeys. It's different. It's different with everyone. It's organic, and things arise and disappear, and all these things. What you find when you go deep into someone's mind. Um, it's not predictable. Um, so that's exactly so. Like, where else
Hmm.
there's that is the only thing left, right? Okay, before one recognizes the futility of prescriptions, they seek prescriptions. Fine, they never get anywhere. And then I'm talking about in non-mechanical, non-technical things. Um, and then they may happen to stumble upon my work and see that prescriptions, or that I talk about the futility of prescriptions, and then they might prescriptionize that and say, okay, well, I'm not going to say prescriptions. Well, that doesn't do anything, because that's just prescription. To read my work and say, oh, he's saying no prescriptions, that also is a prescription. So it's not about that. It's about seeing it for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not believing me. And so then one may realize that, there are no prescriptions that can help me get out of this. So then one is at the crossroads. One is at a dead end. Okay. To the left, he realizes that, okay, there's no prescriptions. He realized, but to the right, he realizes, having said that, my problems are still there. So there's only one thing remaining, and that's a systematic journey to go into the depth of these things, in order to address them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that's left, and just one must do. I'm just saying that's the only serious way. That's the only that is for serious people. In fact, that is the only way to arrive at the end of one's. That's the only true solution. And like that isn't even a solution. Like there's not even a that isn't a solution in terms of you do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing there is. Everything else is uh, swirling muddy water, putting on ointment, putting on band-aids. And while none of that is wrong, one must do whatever they can to get some relief. Sure, I understand. But to seek the end of one's problems, to truly find, to truly unravel one's problems, um, that isn't for like I said before, humans aren't walking around thinking like that. They're walking around putting ointment on one's problems forever.
Mm-hmm. I understand.